upon a time, in the village of Lamasi, a terrifying creature known as the horror bird terrorized the inhabitants. This monstrous bird, with its goat-like hooves, twisted horns, and massive wings, wreaked havoc on the village. For years, it has been a menace, killing children, adults, strangers, and strays alike. The villagers lived in constant fear, unable to venture to the market square in the early morning or late evening, and on certain days they dared not leave their huts at all. The horror bird reign of terror began affecting the lifestyle and economy of Lamasi. The once thriving market square became deserted, and the villagers lived in perpetual fear. Strangers avoided Lamasi, and the villagers themselves felt trapped within their homes. One fateful day, the king's daughter, Princess Zula, decided to venture out with her guards. Despite the lurking danger, as they walked through a dense bush path, the creature appeared, charging towards them with terrifying speed. The guards fought valiantly, but were no match for the horror bird. With a powerful swoop, it lifted Princess Zula high into the sky, disappearing into the horizon. The village was thrown into chaos. The loss of the princess meant there was no safe days left, and despair settled over Lamasi. The king was devastated, and the villagers' hopes were dwindled. In the midst of all this, the village had a well-known drunkard named Ayo. One evening, as the villagers gathered in the local tavern to discuss their plight, Ayo, after a few too many gourds of palm wine, stood up on a table and proclaimed, "If I see that bird there, I will tear it apart with my bare hands." The villagers, seeking some levity amongst their fears, began to cheer and encourage him. "Tell us more, Ayo." They laughed. Ayo, emboldened by the attention, continued, "I will grab it by its horns here, twist its neck, and roast it over a fire for all of you to see. Then I will down it with palm wine." Just then, a low rustling sound came from the nearby bushes outside the tavern. The laughter ceased immediately, and the colors drained from Ayo's face. Without a second thought, he leaped off the table and bolted for the floor. The villagers, equally frightened, followed suit. In their panic, they collided with chairs and tables, sending them flying. Ayo tripped over a bench, got back up, and drove into a nearby barrel to hide. The other villagers hid wherever they could find a spot, under tables and even in the rafters of the tavern. Once the noise subsided and it was clear the horror bird was not attacking, the villagers emerged from their hiding places, laughing at their own antics. Even Ayo, covered in palm wine from the barrel, chuckled and said, "Perhaps I will wait until tomorrow to defeat that bird. It is like I was too drunk today. I drank too much Bami. That was why I was scared. Let it come tomorrow, and like I said, I will twist its neck and roast it." One evening, a stranger named Bamise arrived in Lamasi. To his surprise, the village was eerily silent and deserted. He knocked on several doors, seeking shelter for the night, but no one answered. Finally, he found his way to the palace and banged on the doors. The curious and desperate king instructed his guards to let Bamise in. The king, weary with grief, asked Bamise what he sought at such a perilous time. Bamise explained that he was a former warrior that was traveling, and he was in need of a place to stay for the night. Moved by his plight, the king offered him shelter and shared the tragic tale of the horror bed and the missing princess. Late that night, a heavy thud echoed on the palace roof, followed by a chilling voice. "I have your daughter, and I will kill her if you don't come out," it taunted. The king and his guards were paralyzed with fear, unable to confront the creature. The horror bed eventually flew away, leaving a haunting silence in its wake. Determined to save the princess and rid Lamasi of the horror, Bamise decided to take matters into his own hands. He sneaked out of the palace and stealthily traced the creature to its temporary abode. Over the next few days, he gathered the most powerful juju men from neighboring villages, prepared for a final confrontation. The day of reckoning arrived. Bamise and the juju men launched a fierce battle against the horror bed. With their combined strength and mystical powers, they fought valiantly, eventually overpowering the creature. The villagers watched in awe as the beast was finally defeated and Princess Zula was freed. The village of Lamasi erupted in celebration. The king, overjoyed and grateful, offered his daughter's hand in marriage to Bamise, the savior of the land. The village thrived once more, free from the terror that has plagued them for so long. Bamise and Princess Zulu's union was celebrated. With grand festivities, and the tale of their bravery and love was told for generations to come. Lamasi returned to his former glory and peace reigned in the village once more. Thanks for watching my video. If you like this video, kindly subscribe, like, comment and share. Thank you.